Hey folks, welcome back to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. We've got lots to get through for you today. We've got stuff about epic space combat, epic card combat, epic food and kitchen fighting combat, epic werewolf combat, even a little bit about some poo combat as well. Strap yourselves in folks, this is our September edition of Got Your Backer. Hi folks, as I said, welcome back. My name is Matt, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm here today to talk you through all of the updates and projects that we're backing on Kickstarter for September 2020. And there is, as I said, a lot to get through, so we're going to dive right in. We've also got a special announcement for you later on, so make sure you stick around and watch till the end of the video. Not that way, this way. We're going this way. As always, big thank you to our Patreon subscribers who are joining us on this wonderful Kickstarter journey. They've been supporters from the outset. We really appreciate all of their support and all their input as well as to how this episodic series has taken shape over the months it has been running. But now let's get into some project updates. Okay, so the first project we're going to update you all on is something we backed a little while ago now, and it's not the initial game. This is a reprint, and also for the expansion of this game. This is Rival Restaurants Back 4 Seconds, and it is an expansion to the base game that allows for lots of new replayability, lots more chefs, lots more player characters, even a new play mode as well, including some event cards too. So a lot of new content for the game. Core gameplay mechanics isn't hugely changed. There is an updated mode called I think it's team mode or kitchen team mode, where you can have a team of chefs versus a team of chefs and basically go at it head to head, which I think is quite unique. I think it was in the base game, but they've been redeveloped that for this edition. Along with that, there's been some app updates for this game as well. Not that it's essential for gameplay, but it does make things a little bit easier and a bit more fun and chaotic. For those of you who don't understand what Rival Restaurants is all about, it's basically a game where everyone plays at the same time and absolute chaos reigns supreme. You're all vying for ingredients, trying to buy things from the market and develop the best recipes to shoot your restaurant into the stratosphere of gastronomic splendor. It is a fast-paced, fun game. The expansion, as I said, promises to have a lot of content involved. Has been delayed, of course, like everything has, due to COVID and everything else that's been going on. But we're really looking forward to seeing it when it hits the table, and we're hoping that we'll get our hot little hands on it based, hopefully before Christmas, but we'll see how we go there. All right, we talked about epic at the outset, and this is where things are going to get a little bit epic, because this project is not just one project we're talking about. We're going to be talking about two projects by the same group of wonderful gaming creators. So these projects are both created by White Wizard Games, and I am talking about Epic, the Jungle Epic card game and its Jungle expansion, and also Star Realms, the Nova collection. So we're getting two projects for the price of one here, both amazing games. Epic is effectively a dual style card game where you can buy one pack of cards and have enough for sealed draft play, constructed play. It's effectively like a customizable card game, but it's all in one box. You don't have to buy multiple packs. Obviously, every pack you do buy has the same core group of cards in it, and you can obviously expand the game that way. On each turn, each player has one gold. So on my turn, I have a gold, but on your turn, I'll also have one gold to spend to play cards and events from your hand. And the objective, like most of these games, is to whittle your opponent's health down to 0. There is a ton of rules and a ton of replayability in the Epic game, and the Jungle expansion and the 2-player core sets or theme sets that they're bringing out are going to sort of, I think, get a lot more people on board. When Epic first came out, it was a bit jarring and very polarizing as to whether you loved or hated it. But I think as the evolution of the game has gone on, it's been something that people have been jumping on board a lot more. Epic is, I think, still available in Pledge Manager stage. So if you are one of our Patreons and you're joining our new bits and pieces, which we'll talk about later, you might be able to get in touch with us and get your hands on a copy before it's released to retail. But moving on from White Wizard Games Epic, we're going to move on to White Wizard's Star Realms, the Nova Collection. Now, Star Realms is a deck building game, so you know I'm all in. Raise the roof. But the Nova Collection is basically the epitome of what it means to have a copy of Star Realms. So we're talking Star Realms, Star Realms Frontiers, Cosmic Gambit, all that sort of stuff, all in one epic big box collection for the first time, along with some amazing foil cards, custom cards, all sorts of promos that are included in the one box. It's going to be absolutely incredible, very epic, and make for an amazing unboxing when it hits our table. At this stage, they are still slated to make their deadline, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there won't be too many delays there. But Star Realms is on my top 10 deck building game list, superseded only by things like Hero Realms. I do appreciate the fantasy theme a little bit more, but Star Realms is still a great game. My daughter loves it. It's something that hits a table on a regular basis, and the Nova Collection is going to make it that much more amazing. So we're excited to see that when it arrives. Another update for you on the game we've all been waiting for, and that is, of course, Unbroken. The update is there is no update on this one. It is still in development hell after everything that went on with Golden Bell Studios. See our first Gotcha Backer if you don't know what I'm talking about. Unbroken, we hope to one day receive it. I doubt we'll get it before Christmas. I doubt we'll get it before next Christmas. We'll see what happens. The word from the developer and the designer Artem is that we are still slated to get the games at some point. It's just a question of when, not so much if, it'll be when. But look, we'll just make it work as best we can, and hopefully one day it'll arrive on the doorstep when I've long since forgotten about it and moved on. But that's an update for you on Unbroken. Okay, this is one we've already given you a bit of an update on in our very first ever Gotcha Backer, but it's time to sort of revisit some of those and let you know what's happening, as it has been 4 months since we did our first one. This one is Psycho Chicken by Neon Chicken, and it's an epic card game where you play the cards face down and you effectively play the game blind. Was meant to have arrived in June, but then COVID-19 hit and everything went absolutely crazy, just like a Psycho Chicken. So what we're expecting, and we're actually experiencing some massive delays, not with the game and the production. It's already been done. It was shipped in June. It is sitting somewhere in a factory in China, of all places, has been currently in transit for 103 days. And I have been in touch with the designers and the company, Neon Chicken, and obviously try to figure out what's going on. We here in Victoria are struggling to get anything shipped to us, so it's no surprise there's delays there. We will hopefully see what's going on, and hopefully it'll make its way over here over the next month or so. Who knows, maybe next month's Gotcha Backer will actually have us talking about it having arrived. Still looking forward to playing it, still looking forward to getting our hands on the Not Safe for Work edition of the game, and looking forward to sharing it all with you if and when it gets here. Now for something different, this is Boomerang by Grail Games, our very own Grail Games here in Australia. Now the Boomerang series has been designed by Scott Arms of Tiny Epic fame, so we're talking Tiny Epic everything. And this is something that is a draft and write game, I guess I can put it that way. So you have a score pad, you have a deck of cards, and you draft cards at places that you visit, and obviously the person who is the most visits or most prolific in terms of visiting all the different places scores the most points and wins the game. Going to be fantastic. It should arrive any day now. We're expecting it any day now, which is fantastic. Our other Grail Games Kickstarter, Medici, has arrived, and we're going to be unboxing that very, very soon to share that with you. And Boomerang, when it arrives, obviously we'll do the same and be able to share that with you as well. Very excited to see how that goes, because it's Boomerang Australia, which is where we live. So we're looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and I know that Charlotte's looking forward to that one as well, and that's Boomerang Australia. Now, we promised you at the outset a little bit of epic combat and everything else as well, along with something about a little bit about a poo, and we did mention this in one of our updates as well, way back in the beginning. We are talking about Poopocalypse. Now this game is still in development. As far as I understand, they are about to start their production. They are expecting to get it worldwide before Christmas, which is ridiculous. It's a game about crazy poo puns, and building a pyramid of poo-like characters, topping it off with a crap king. Yes, it's all about potty mouth toilet humor, and that's why we love it. It's very simple to play. It's designed to be played by 2 to 6, I think, the base game, and then you can get an expansion which allows you to play with up to 12 people, I think. There's also a magical fantasy expansion featuring Harry Plopper, and all sorts of other weird and wonderful things from mythos and fantasy elements that have all been had the poo treatment, so to speak. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that to the table, embarrassing myself in front of my family, and then flushing the memories of wholesome family game nights down the toilet. That's Poopocalypse. It is slated for a December arrival, and of course when it arrives we will show you how it goes with the movement. There's a bowel movement joke there, but I don't really want to go there. Ugh, craziness. And that's all the project updates we have for you, though. We are now going to move in to show you and talk to you a little bit more about what we've freshly backed for September 2020. Okay, first up on our list is a game that makes me hungry, and not for the reason you might expect. It's a game that I came across by watching another fellow YouTuber unbox and talk about a Kickstarter preview copy that he had received. And I just looked at it, watched what was happening. My daughter saw what was going on and went, I want that game. So we backed right away, and it's currently still up on Kickstarter at the time of this recording. And that is Sharks Feeding Frenzy, which is a family fun board game about sharks in the water terrorizing everybody and munching on everybody they can find. Very family friendly, family fun, friendly, fun, something like that. Anyway, in Sharks Feeding Frenzy, you do play a shark and you move around a grid with rolling coordinate die to bring out new people onto the board that you can chomp on for victory points. But you need to be careful because there is shark-to-shark combat, and you can reach your hand down inside the throat of another shark to grab something out of the gut locker and steal the points from their tasty, tasty insides. There's all sorts of other things that stop you from eating the people. There's also whirlpools that will help you transport around the board. Tile laying game similar to something like Carcassonne, but with the board. In fact, it's nothing like Carcassonne. I don't know why I said that. Carcassonne doesn't have, the meeples don't eat each other. Meeples get eaten by a dragon, so maybe that's where I'm drawing on the comparison there. Sharks Feeding Frenzy at this stage is, as I said, still running on Kickstarter, so you can jump in and pledge if you want to get part of it. Otherwise, yeah, check it out. I think Shark Feeding Frenzy is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit of silly craziness that when it hits the table, and as Charlotte grows older, she's going to be able to appreciate games like this more and more. And that's Sharks Feeding Frenzy. From a feeding frenzy in the ocean to a feeding/fighting frenzy in the cafe. This is Cafe Chaos, an odd one out game. This is a game where you choose a character and you draft cards from the deck to build the most epic food weaponry you possibly can and launch them at your opponent to make a big bloody mess. The whole purpose of this is literally card slinging combat. It's not a dexterity game as such, but it's just a good way to sort of blow off some steam, quick play time, similar to Sushi Go in terms of its pack up and set up and everything else. The Kickstarter bits and pieces for this one allowed for multiple packs. I actually grabbed little boosters that you can have for the game and sold them as add-ons, or you could go for a higher pledge where you could get them all, which we did. Ka-ching. And it's basically, I think from what I understand, we're getting signed cards by the artists as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love quick playing card games that you can pack up and put down and not have to worry too much about thinking. You literally have to pick a character, grab your recipes for different foods and just go for it and just throw cards until there's literally one left standing, and that person will be the winner. Quick play time means for a lot of replayability. Really looking forward to getting this to the table, and that's Cafe Chaos. Okay, we talked a lot about animals in this update. This one is no exception. This one is an expansion similar to Rival Restaurants that we talked about in the outset. This is Growl, the Madness and Plagues expansion from Vigor Games. Growl was a great werewolf, is a great werewolf social deduction game. It's not werewolf in the traditional sense, it's something a little bit different, but I love it because it is different. And these expansions are going to bring a lot more replayability to an already great game. particularly once we can all get out of lockdown and actually start social deducting games and playing together and everything else as well. The Madness expansion has, I think, 60 cards in it. The Plagues has 30 cards, and they also have different night cards for nighttime events, which, if you know the game Growl, at the end of each round there's night events that happen throughout the course of the deck that basically cause havoc for the players in the game. The Madness and the Plagues expansion play very, very differently, but when you combine them with the base game, it's going to be a whole lot of crazy fun trying to keep track of who's plagued by what and how they're going to behave. It allows the humans to be able to track the wolves a little better. The Madness would allow for some crazy things, that when this card is played, you must squeal like a pig, and then scratch your bum, stuff like that. It's absolutely going to be quite mental. Giggle insanely when you play this card if you're a human, but if you're not a human, you don't giggle, so you give away information that way by all. But unless you know that card's been played, you won't know why somebody's giggling. Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of silly fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting that to the table, having a couple of drinks, and just having a kick-ass time. Yeah, that's Growl, Madness and Plagues, and that is on target to hopefully be here before Christmas as well. All right, probably one of the biggest updates we have for you about the new projects we've backed over the month of September. This one is, it promises to be something that is very different to what we've backed in the past, but at the same time, I don't know, I saw it and I watched a video on it and I went, you know what? This is something that intrigues me. It's spacefaring combat, it's hunting, it's bounty hunting, I guess, a bit Mandalorian style, and the fact that you can customize your characters to suit your play style, even though it's a bit more worker placement-y, I love it. It's fantastic. This is Galaxy Hunters. And Galaxy Hunters is a game where you pick your pilot and then you pick a gigantic mech that you can put your pilot into. Your pilot has special abilities and your mech has certain abilities, but the different mechs are compatible with all the other different pilots. And as you connect them up, you will activate certain abilities based on the pilot that you choose. But then you can always upgrade those abilities by moving around the space, landing on different planets and gaining resources and ammunition, better weapons to go hunt those crazy mutants that are coming out from that location that need to be destroyed. Worker placement games are something I'm coming to enjoy more and more and more. Not so much the engine building part of it, but the worker placement element, particularly on this huge space themed board with all the different planets. Gonna look spectacular on the table. I'm glad we've got a bigger table now so I can put some of these bigger games out on the table. But Galaxy Hunters has a lot of replayability. We've backed at the level that includes the expansion with the extra pilots, extra mechs. And the mech minis, they are huge. Like, we're not talking little tiny, 150 mil minis. I'm talking 15 mil to 20 mil minis. I'm talking big chunky buggers that you could literally want to climb into and take for a bit of a flight. So the mini sculpts are fantastic, and because there's only the mech sculpts for the minis, they've spent a lot of time developing them and making them look absolutely fantastic. So very well done. Galaxy Hunters, I think at this stage is slated for a March 2021 release, so it's still a little way off yet. The good thing is, as far as I'm aware, once everything's finished with the campaign, production will be able to start almost pretty much straight away, so that's very exciting, and hopefully there won't be too many delays based on everything else we've been seeing of late. Galaxy Hunters is, I don't know, it's spacefaring combat. It's a worker placement game, as I said, which I'm starting to love. The customization element of it and the replayability factor is going to be quite wonderful as well. Not annoying, quite wonderful. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how all the different pilots interact with the different mechs that are available. It's going to be very, very cool. Check it out. And our last update for you on something we've literally backed as early as this morning, the day of this recording. This is something that I'd seen advertised quite a bit and I wasn't sure. I was a bit, I don't know. Is it just more of the same? Is it trying to be something it's not going to be able to deliver? And the more I researched it, the more I thought, you know what, there's nothing else like this on the market. I want a copy. And that's Outsmarted. Now, Outsmarted is a trivia game at its core. Let's not hear the crickets. Give this a chance. This is Outsmarted. This is a trivia game where it's a smart AI trivia game. So it uses devices. You can have up to 6 devices on the one game and you'll share the screen and everything else. You can actually use this game, and they've been very clever about this, not necessarily hoping there's going to be a pandemic that extends, but This is a game you can play remotely. So if you're in your home and you've got family and friends, 14 houses away or 3 suburbs away, they can join in remotely via a Zoom call or via the app itself and still play with you, which I think is absolutely awesome. It allows for 2 to 24 players, along with a solo mode, along with the ability to purchase question packs and download free ones from the store they have designated for this application, along with adding in random video events, clips from news that may have happened the day before, and there might be a question about it the next time you play. It's packed into a wonderful little box with mini sculpts that are movers representing geniuses throughout history, including Einstein, Shakespeare, etc. The upgraded version includes painted versions of those minis, which I love. I love a good painted mini included in a box. And on top of that, the base game includes about 2,500 questions, 2,500 questions, but there's already an expansion that's included in that base pack of another 1,500 questions. And there's other packs you can download for free, 400 questions, 800 questions. It's going to be very, very, very rare for you to get the same question twice. The replayability of this game alone, the fact that you can project it to a screen, a larger screen in the house, the fact that you can all have your own device to answer questions and be involved, the fact that you can set it up as a team game, and then it will pick someone at random out of the team and say, this is a solo question just for you, you're on your own. The intelligence of that application as well is absolutely second to none, state of the art. One of the best parts about this, trivia games can be really, really fun if you've got a core group of all people around the same age as you. So I'm, in my late 30s. If all my friends come around and we're all sitting around, we're all 30 plus, we're all going to have a great time. But Charlotte loves games. She's going to want to play. So the beauty of this application is you can actually tell the app, or the AI, I guess, for lack of a better term, the age of all the players in the game. And it will ask questions to those players based on their age, based on where they are in the world. So we're not going to get questions about the US necessarily, because we're in Australia. And it will ask questions to Charlotte based on her age level, so that she could potentially win the game by answering all of her questions correctly. The fact that it's able to differentiate, I'm yet to see it in action, obviously, but at the same time, the appeal is fantastic. And the fact that they're planning to have this delivered before Christmas, I'm in. It would be fun playing this over Christmas holidays with everybody. So, Outsmarted, it's currently on Kickstarter now. We backed it, as I said, this morning. Still has, from what I understand, about 12 to 17 days to go, so you can still jump on board if you are watching this as one of our Patreon subscribers. If you are not one of our Patreon subscribers, you'll be watching this in October and the campaign will have ended. But don't fret, we've got something new we're going to talk about right after this as we do our wrap up. Okay, so that's all the Kickstarter information updates we have for you based on projects we've backed past and present. Very, very excited to be able to share all those with you. Lots of fun new games that are on their way out to us and ultimately out onto you as well, particularly with Outsmarted. Now, we talked at the outset about something we're doing a little bit differently. Our Patreon subscribers, you will already know what I'm about to talk about, but this is for those of you that aren't Patreon subscribers and want to get involved. We are opening our hearts, opening our minds, and opening our pledge managers to all of you. So if you've seen something you think, you know what, that's perfect for me, and you've missed the Kickstarter deadline because you're watching this after the fact, or for whatever the case, you just don't have the money right then and there, you can get in touch with us either through Patreon or through the website, or any other means necessary, even on Facebook, and you can join our pledge manager and get your copy the same time as we do. It will be shipped here. Here's the kicker. You won't pay any more than we do. You'll pay for your order and you'll pay a shipping cost, but that's it. That's all you'll need to pay. We're not going to charge you any extra for it. We're not paying on top. This is just a service we're offering specifically to our Patreon subscribers. So if you're one of those people and you want to get in touch with us about a game you've seen that you like, you pay the base cost of the game. There's no extra incentive for us to do this. We're just doing it solely as a means to get some great games in the hands of some great supporters. You must be a Patreon subscriber. You will pay a $10 shipping charge for your order. That's it. The base game and everything else. If you want to order your own add-ons and everything else, you just let us know what you want. We put the order through. We let you know through the updates. We've got your backer, and obviously through our own email service, what's available, how it's all happening. And then when it arrives, we ship it straight to you and you get it a couple of days after we do. It's as simple as that. So if you want to get involved and you're not a Patreon supporter, you can jump on board at patreon.com/hpgamingau. If you have any questions about that service, you can always email us at orders@hpgaming.com.au or visit the website hpgaming.com.au. And we look forward to bringing all of these games to you, hopefully sending them out to you as our Patreon subscribers and Kickstarter backers. And we'll see you back at the table for some more weird and wonderful games very, very soon. Bye for now.